Well, we didn't play our best game tonight, especially from the defensive end. But bottom line was we took care of business, and this is what we talked about right from the very beginning. Before we even started the first game, we said how crucial it was to win these two games. And whether it was a 1-point win or a 20-point win or a 40-point win, it really didn't matter except that we won. And so, you know, like I said, we took care of business. Now we're ready to move on and you know, bring New Zealand and Australia over and play them here at home in February. Well, it should be a great series of 2 games.
Thank you. Thank you, Coach. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, same thing as Coach. I thought we started off really well, but after we had a big lead, we kind of relaxed a little bit, and Guam took advantage of that. Jericho and Simon were doing their thing, but we still were able to get the job done.
Thank you. Right now, we open the floor to questions from the media.
Good evening, Coach. I was Coach, you did the job that all these years never so yeah. What's it like to see him play as a finally international?
Well, it just brings back the idea of how much he's contributed over the years. You know, thinking this was his last one, but he's played so many over the years. As I told him, you know, his wife, Cassie, when she sees my wife, she always tells my wife, you know, can you please allow Japeth to retire so that he can spend more time with his kids and focus on his Endeavor career. And I keep saying no. And I've said no for the last 2 or 3 years. And but with Kai coming back, hopefully this, you know, in February, there's a chance that now, you know, we can let Japeth retire. But the bottom line, also, he's still on call. You know, if something happens to one of our bigs, and we need another big to step in, we will continue to call him because he's a freak of nature. You know, at 38 years old, he still jumps out of the gym. He still plays at an extremely high level. You know, he knows that if we need him, he'll come back and help us out. But for now, he's ready to retire. He's going to be like Muhammad Ali, maybe come back, retire, and come back, retire. Who knows?
Thank you, Coach. More questions from the media?
First, congratulations. Coach, are your abilities moving to next Guam? Big test in February. Australia and New Zealand both at home. The circles on looking forward to those 2 games.
Well, it's a long ways away still, but you know, we have our eyes on it. You know, we know New Zealand pretty well. We played them a number of times. We played Australia in the Asia Cup. We know what's ahead of us. We know it's not going to be easy, but we're hoping that, you know, playing at home, that'll make a difference for us. And you know, tonight was a little difficult because, you know, we beat them by a large margin there in Guam. We knew they were going to come back and play with a level of desperation, and that's a given. And they played really, really well tonight, and we just all we did was kind of hold them off. But I just want to give credit to Guam too, and the coach EJ Calvo and all the things that they have done. Amazing job. And for him to come in here after a 40-point loss and play the way they did tonight, they showed a lot of character. And I just hope we can continue to show that kind of character as we move forward.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach, congratulations. Just like to ask your thoughts on the officiating tonight. Both teams combined to shoot, you know, over close to 60 free throws each. Was the more possible factor team or?
I didn't even think about the referee tonight. You know, I didn't see any bad calls. They called it a little tight at times, and you know that's going to vary from game to game how they play, how some referees call it, some others don't. Truly, I didn't give any thought to the refereeing tonight. We were just trying to focus on winning the games, and I think if you do focus on the referees, that just distracts you from what you need to do out there. So other people can complain. You know, they can look at it the way they want to look at it, but really for us and our staff, coaching staff, and even how we try to impress on the players, referees we can't control that, so control what you can control. That's your performance.
Next Coach.
We don't know. You know, that's always the next day kind of injury. He definitely sprained his ankle. Not a first degree, maybe a second or third degree. You know, we have until the 10th of December to get him ready to play, and hopefully he'll be ready, because that's one guy we can't lose at an ever, obviously. But that's just a sacrifice you make as playing for the national team. CJ went down, had a bad ankle sprain. Calvin got injured in the Asia Cup. You know, it's just part of it, and you hope it doesn't happen. But that's the sacrifice you make playing for the national team, and because you're going to be playing against physical guys and big bodies, and there's a good chance you might get hurt at some point.
Thank you, Coach. One last round of questions.
Coach, what is your assistant first game QMB and how is it playing with QMB on the court?
Go ahead.
QMB is my roommate too, so we got close. And you know, I love the way he plays. He's not scared to challenge shots, and he's physical down there in the paint. So I'm looking forward to seeing him again and his improvement.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. He's just scratching the surface of his ability to help us. I mean, we're still exploring his game. He's exploring his game within the system. There's a lot more levels for him to go, but the initial look is that he's just what the doctor ordered. He's that weak side big man that can. He's a really strong defender. He battled Wesley really well, and then went around and battled Galloway really well. And those guys are high-level players. And then he got to the offensive boards. He ran the floor. He's just a very active big. And again, that's just what the doctor ordered for us.
Any more questions? And if there are no more questions, that is where we will end this year's press conference.